Hello, welcome to the new video. This time we are playing some Winota deck. It is a Yorion build. I have a few different versions of Winota decks, and this is definitely the first one using Yorion. But it's a very interesting reason why I'm using Yorion is that when you play Winota deck, you kind of play a lot of these Winota human payoffs, like Ranger Captain of Eos, Seasoned Pyromancer. You can play like Reflector Mage. Uh, these are all 3 drops. You can play Let's Hunt Master of the Fells. You can play even some higher mana value cards like Geist Honored Monk or Towards Hunt Master, stuff like that, which makes you play a pretty high average mana value deck. And that can be definitely a problem with 60 cards, because when you fit 4 Winota, you fit like some other 4 mana human targets. Uh, you fit the 11, 12 3 drops. You can get a really high mana value. I added Yorion because it enables me to play more mana dorks. I can play 12, 8 dorks and 4 Dragoon. Uh, I can play enough of my tutors. I can play more tutors, which makes the deck consistent, and I can play mana fixing like Bren, and I even fitted in the combo. Okay, so this deck has a few combos in it. It all involve Vizier of the Remedies. Okay, so Vizier of the Remedies says if one or more -1/-1 counters will be put on a creature you control, that many counters -1 are put on it instead. So it combos with Kitchen Finks because it has Persist and it returns to the battlefield without the counter. And if you have a sec effect like Bombardment or Yawgmoth on field, you can gain infinite life, or with Yawgmoth on field, you can also draw infinite cards. So I played 2 leagues with this version, and I exclusively and only lost to other combo decks. So my losses were Belcher, Scapeshift, and Amulet Titan. So I won against all other mid-range and fair decks, and we will go through those matches. And some of the games were really interesting, and I just killed opponents in all possible combo ways that are available in the deck. And I think it's a pretty fun build. Also has I feel like it has some serious potential. It feels very strong. I When I made the deck, I didn't make enough of the spell-based combo decks like against Belcher, uh, and all other combo decks. For combo decks, we have only our combo to raise them, to try to combo faster than them, or 3 meddling mages on the sideboard, or maybe Magus of the Moon, something like that. But it's a creature-based combo, so the spell-based combos are mostly faster than us. So the combo matchup is bad, but Talia, Guardian of Traben, is a human, and she can be easily played or sideboarded in this deck, which helps greatly with all spell-based combos. And also Meddling Mage is great, but it's just the 3 of them on side, so it needs some reinforcements. But Talia is like a very good choice to fight this old spell-based combos, especially the ones like Belcher. Okay, so I will just go through some matches I played, and comment on some plays and losses and that's it. And okay, so I played the last two leagues. Last one finished 4-1. Lost against Amulet, close game against Amulet Titan, and the league before that was 3-2. Also, this was a loss against Belcher, and this was loss against Scapeshift. Okay, so we'll go from the beginning. First game with this version. Okay, you'll see just how on how many ways can this deck actually beat. First game playing against the mono black control, uh, playing Birds of Paradise at turn one. They of course kill it. That's all they do, just kill creatures and discard cards and then play powerful costly spells. I didn't have my land here, so I just play Bombardment. Um, Unfortunately, I should have found the Sacred Foundry so I can cast my Dramis Call earlier, but it didn't matter much. My opponent saw me having Winota in hand, so they decided to uh, discard Winota with Necromancer. But I wanted to go Dramis Call for Vizier of Remedies, but I just drew it. I needed a land or Vizier to win. A land would also win me. I would just find a Vizier with Eldramis and play it. And Vizier is infinite with Kitchen Finks and Goblin Bombardment, so my opponent conceded. That's it. Okay, so game two, playing second. Having a decent hand. Just play again some dork turn one. My opponent finds Urborg. I play another dork, play Ren. I get back my land. So I just go for Winota. They seem to didn't have the removal for Winota, and they just conceded on turn three. That was it. They probably had push or something, but didn't have fetch to kill Winota. I'm not sure, but that was it. Really quick game, quick win against Mono Black Control. They didn't do much, just some removals, discards, that's it. Okay, so time for game two. Again, hand with a few tutors, a few dorks, decent hand, so finding Temple Garden, playing my dork. I think this was the Murktide matchup, I think. Just playing my Vren 6 at this point is definitely the most important. They played two Shredders, attack my Vren, but my Vren already did enough. I didn't want to cast double spell to grow their Shredders, so I just cast my things, return land with the Vren, and the Vren already grabbed the two lands, so he did a lot of job. Yeah, good job, Vren. Okay, so again, I didn't want to double spell. I just wanted to start attacking, use my Jami's Call on their turn. Unfortunately, they took my Ragon, but it wasn't such a big deal. Okay, they played my Pyromancer. They played my Pyromancer, and that's lucky because they had counterspell in hand, which they discard and they tap out. So at this point, I have kitchen things on the field. When you have kitchen things on the field with this deck, it's very dangerous. So I just went, as you can see, I just went Aljami's Call for Vizier end of turn. I play my Vizier, sack kitchen things to find Yagmoth. Kitchen things comes back as 3-2. So doesn't come back with a counter because the Vizier. I find the Yagmoth, and then I have infinite draw, infinite counters on opponent's creatures, and infinite life. It's not infinite, but as much as I have cards in library. And that's it, I just kill all opponent's creatures, I draw like 20 cards, and I win. Okay, that was a quick win, game 1. So you could see game 1 we win with a Goblet Bombardment, Kitchen Things, Vizier combo. Game 2 we win with the Yagmoth combo. Game 2 my opponent started more aggressively and I had a slower hand with two seasoned Pyromancers and just one Vizier to play before that. Okay, so I took basic planes because of possible Blood Moon. And my opponent just grew the ledger, bolted my creature, played hers to stop the eventual combos like game before. So I just discard Yagmoth because it's mainly tutorable target. I can rarely cast it from hand just with Ignoble Hierarchs, Birds of Paradise, or Ragavan tokens. I don't have backlands. So my opponent leaves one blue mana in, and it could be removal or counter spell. I decided to go for Winota, but it wasn't spell pierce, it was removal. I could have gone. Yeah, I had a new form to try next turn to go for new form on a season Pyromancer. They played pretty aggressively. Attack for 4, put the Dragon Rage. So at this point, it was kind of too late. I succeeded to kill the Shredder, play my Omnat, gain 4 life, and I was back into game. They only had 2 cards at this point, but unfortunately, I think they had the Murktide. Yeah. If it wasn't the Murktide, I would be right back into the game. I was still in the game, though I had Birds of Paradise, but unfortunately, they had dressed down for my season Pyromancer. Okay, so I was able to jump the Murktide next turn. Chop the Murktide, live on 1 life, try to win, try to survive, but didn't find a land. If I found a land here with Omnet, I would be able to survive. But that was it. Yeah, just needed the land, and I would be with land. I would be in a pretty good position. I would gain some life, tap their Murktide on their first main, play Ranger Captain of Eos, play another bird, just jump the DRC again. It would be a pretty good position for me. Game 2, I attack with Ragavan. They don't kill it, which feels great. I play immediately the Mishra's Bubble, great value. I didn't want to crack treasure. I just wanted to draw another land, maybe try to play Winota next turn. If they tap out. Yeah, my opponent, I think they tapped out, but unfortunately killed my Ragavan, so there was no much point in playing Winota. I drew 2 lands, which is nice. Okay, so again, I just wanted to save Winota for a turn where it actually does the trigger, at least one trigger. Okay, so my opponent kills Vizier. I attack for 3. I think I just played another Sphinx. My opponent counters that, probably digging for something, maybe another counter spell or Murktide or some strong creature. So at this point I had 4 mana, so I just decided to cast my Vizier because I had enough mana to cast Winota next turn. And this was pretty nice. It didn't have red mana open, so I was just able to attack with things, find my creature, find another 2 creatures, and make some tokens and make Winota more dangerous for next turn. Also put them on 6 life, which is pretty important. Also find another Ragavan, and now at this point they need a Murktide plus 2 removals to live through the next turn. So it was a pretty good position for me. I also find another Ragavan, and they're on the 6 life, and it's just a lot of pressure, a lot of creatures on field, and they have to attack with both channelers. So only thing they could have done is play Murktide, make their channelers 1/1, and hold the 2 removals in hand. And that's it. That was the game 2. Okay. We will just from this league we will just go to the wins. Losses were Belcher loss, which really lasted 3 turns, both games, and another loss was Escape Shift, which also lasted for I think 4 or 5 turns. Me just casting creatures and they're comboing, so there is not much point in. No, I think there's not much point in just showing these games. We'll see the loss from the last league. So against Burn, I just sacked Ranger on their Rift Bolt. They attack here, put me on 1 life, but then I find Omnat and instantly win the game. Again 4 life on their upkeep, again 4 more life, and that's it. The famous Omnat win against the Burn. I'm also good against Burn because I play 3 Kitchen Things in main and there is a lot of ways to sack it. So game 2 just medium hand with Devoted Druid combo and Forge Tender in hand. So they play another creature, which is good with my Fury in hand. I play my Devoted Druid, kill both of their creatures, and pass the turn. At this point, they're just with 1 card in hand. I have infinite mana, and it's a matter of a few turns where I find something to kill them with. They play Boris Charm and Rolling Vortex. It's too slow. I just play Winota. And I find another Vizier, I find the Captain of Eos for Vulcan Ballista infinite damage, and they jump Devoted Druid, but I save it with Burn to Forge Tender and just make infinite mana on a second main phase to play the infinitely large Vulcan Ballista. And so you could see the game 1 I kill opponent with Vizier of Remedies, Kitchen Things Bombardment combo. Game 2, I kill opponent, Murktide opponent with Yagmoth combo. And now game 3, we are winning with Vulcan Ballista Devoted Druid combo. Okay, so sorry, this was game 2. This game is over. Quick wins against a Burn. I think it's a very good matchup with Finks and Omnat and so many tutors. Okay, so this is this that was all the games from first league, which finished at 3-2. Lost to some combo matchups, and so game 2 playing against Hammer Time, playing first, which is nice. They play Paladin. I also favored to give in this game 1 against Hammer, but I'm pretty good post sideboard, as you will see. I also can easily win a game 1 too. I have as you saw, I have a lot of quick infinite combos, and the hammer doesn't really have any interaction to deal with that, so they just lose to Devoted Druid, Vizier, Dramis Cole, so plenty of ways to win against that too. This is the reason why I like Reflector Mage in Winota decks. In these situations, against Murktide, against Hammer, you just hit let's say two Reflectors Mage, you bounce the two creatures to their hand, and that's it. They can't recover after that for another Winota turn. Okay, so that was last game 1. But game 2 much better with this matchup. Meddling Mages are great too. You just go with Stoneforge Mystic Colossus Hammer, and that's it. They can't really cast Hammer for the rest of the game, and that's pretty much game over for them. They have Paladin, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything. They need removal for meddling mages, and they really don't play a lot of those, so a pretty bad situation for them. I play Winota, find Season Pyro, and that's it. They concede. Sorry, this was game 2. We are now in for game 3. I keep the one lander, but 2 dorks and Force of Figure, also some Dramis Calls. A pretty decent hand. They play Sigarda's Aid. I find another land which was pretty nice. I played 2 of my creatures, hold Force of Figure. They try to go for a kill with Hammer. I destroyed the Nexus and 8. They're in a pretty weird situation after this happening, so I decided to play all my dorks this turn, because as Hammer is so uninteractive, they don't have a solution for Winota, so I go just for 4 Winota triggers at turn 4, let them draw a card, find Meddling Mage on Hammer, find another Meddling Mage for Stoneforge or Paladin, sorry, because they already have Hammer on field. Find Season Pyro, find Ranger, Captain of Eos, and they can't recover from this. It's game over. Okay, that's it. So 1 Force of Figure, and it's a GG for Hammer. Okay, game 2. Mulliganed The hand had decent hand with some dorks, new form, Vizier of Remedies, combo, Devoted Druid combo in hand. Okay, so it's goblins, so they don't have much interaction here. I just play my Vizier and and just need the blue mana to make combo infinite. I find the blue mana next turn, crack the heat to find the fountain, just make infinite mana here, I find Vulcan Ballista and play Vulcan Ballista. Yeah, I make that. My opponent didn't want to concede, but they saw the Vulcan Ballista in my hand. They didn't want to concede, so I had to make 40 mana to play the 2020 Ballista. Yeah, they conceded on 30 mana, okay. Game 2 against Goblins. I guess Goblins will be popular now. I had to again mulligan starting hand. Keeping birds, ranger, pretty decent hand. They playing first, so they can kill my birds, but it is what it is. And they play Snoop. Turn 2, I play Druid to try to attack for with Winota next turn, but unfortunately they had Demolition's Expert to kill my Druid. So I just play Ranger, find another dork, prepare for my Winota turn. They play Matron to find the Harbinger to try to win the next turn. Okay, so I just went for Yagmoth. I killed their Snoop because they had combo next turn, and just having Yagmoth for this matchup, it's definitely pretty good. And I attack with my non-humans to find the Yagmoth fodder and just to kill all their creatures. They block, and I kill their lord before damage, and I kill all their creatures, and they concede. That's it. They can't win against Yagmoth. Okay, so uh, that was game 2. Yeah, I think. Okay, so this was the Amulet Titan loss. We'll save that game for last. Um, Okay, so I can't remember what this matchup was, but again I had media. It was also Amulet Titan. Okay, one loss and one win against Titan. It was a mediocre hand. I had two bombardments, but if I find the kitchen fix, it's an infinite combo. So I kept the hand because of that, but couldn't find the drum school or kitchen fix. At any point of the game, Eldrami's call or kitchen finks is lethal. So I just tried to. I tried to find it, but I was unsuccessful. Just attacking with Vizier, but it's too slow. Again, trying. I put as many creatures on the field as possible to kill Dryad or Titan. They find Dryad. I could survive the one Titan attack, so really the Dryad was the problem. So I just killed the Dryad in response, and I leave myself with infinite combo on the field. and possibility to play Yorion on Blink Season Pyromancer, draw another 2 cards. But unfortunately they had another Dryad, so that was it. That was a win for them. Game 1. Game 2 boarded in Force Figures and Magus of the Moon, and drew both of my sideboard cards. Uh, so I didn't want to play. Didn't want to play the Magus here, and because I was expecting them to play the Dryad, and when you play Magus before the Dryad, then when they play Dryad after you, their lands produce all colors. So I decided to hold the Magus for a turn, and it was a good choice because they had both Dismember and Dryad in hand. And I defined myself another Magus, so the lands don't produce all colors. And just drew into Winota, find one Vizier, and they block with everything, but it was a lethal anyway. Okay, so that was game 2. Uh, game 3 on a draw. With a kind of medium hand, but had turn 2 Eldrami's Call into turn 3 Magus, so I keep it. Also drew into Ragavan turn 1, which is decent. They kill it, which is good because I had Magus for turn 3. And yeah, so they didn't do anything, so I just cast Eldramis end of turn. Find Magus, find another basic, and just gem Magus. Hope they don't have another Dismember. But they wasted the first one, so it's pretty unlikely for them to have it. So I just play my Ranger, play my creatures, apply as much damage as possible. Okay. And maybe yeah, they didn't have a solution at this point, and I decided it's pretty unlikely for them to have anything next turn, so I decided to play my Kitchen Finks to make sure I have lethal next turn, but it was maybe wrong to play it at this point. Maybe I should have just hold it to 4th to make sure they don't do some crazy stuff next turn, like Dismember, Dryad, Amulet, cast a Titan, stuff like that. But they didn't draw into anything, and that was it. That was the game against Titan. And last game it was the creativity matchup. Okay, so had the mulligan again. Uh, had a decent hand with Tutor and Devoted Druid. These kind of hands are mostly very good. I just play my land tapped, play Devoted Druid. I don't know why, but they kill my bird instead of Druid. I'm not sure was that intentional or punt, but they definitely should have killed the Druid. So I just make the 40 mana, play a new form on either of these creatures, and just play the Ballista. I had even 2 new forms, so if they counter the first one, I could play the second one. But they had just farmed one mana, so there was no point in there was no point in finding another blue source, and I just find the ballista, and they concede the game. That was it. Quick turn 3 combo win against the creativity matchup. Okay, so I boarded in the meddling mages. Unfortunately, I had a tap land on one, so couldn't play my Ragavan, which was pretty important for this game. Yeah, they just tapped my land here, and that was it. If I was able to play my Ragavan on turn 1, it would be a completely different game, I think. And now they tap my land again. I play. This would already be like 2 hits with Ragavan, or just playing some other spells, and they would probably have to waste a removal for other creatures. And maybe my meddling mage would be alive at this point. It didn't have yeah, they didn't have the creativity on 4. Maybe they didn't want to cast it on purpose, so I just go with Winota, but unfortunately I miss first trigger, so it wasn't good enough. One one seasoned pyromancer would be pretty good here, but didn't find it. Unfortunately, 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 I didn't have creatures I needed in hand to. Didn't have enough mana to combo off. The same turn, I was missing 1 mana, I think. I should have probably just played the bombardment earlier. If I did that, I would have the combo this turn. I should have just played the bombardment earlier and just prepare for combo. At this point, I was forced to go Ranger second their turn and then try to attack with Winota again. But that wasn't good enough. Okay. And they win with Invoke into extra turn. And the creativity next turn, and there wasn't much I could do about that, so that was it. That was it. They win game 2 in that fashion with instant speed, extra turn. Okay, so unfortunately, game 3 I had to mulligan to 4, but I win anyway. They also mulliganed to 5 cards, I think, so that helped. I just kept Finks Neoform hand, which helps me find Winota or Omnat or maybe Agmot if I need it, but yeah, Omnat is the best here. So just it's pretty consistent because it's hard for opponents to kill kitchen things 2 times. Yeah, they pulled the things first time, and then after that I play the new form. I find the Omnat, find the land. I was able then to play my Drama's Call, and then I could have played Meddling Mage or Mouse of the Moon, but decided for a Meddling Mage for creativity, which means definitely they can't do it next turn. Unfortunately, I couldn't find another land, but I was lucky enough to find that first one. So I played both of my creatures, Ragavan and Sphinx, to try to pressure them. Okay, I decided to kill this friend. I couldn't let it live longer, so on second main I just put urine to hand. They jump my omelet, take 3 damage. I play both Vizier and Birds, hoping for some top deck like Winota or Goblin Bombardment. Everything is a kill at this point. They just take 3 damage again. I play Yorion, they counter it. I guess the Meddling Mage single-handedly won last match. Meddling Mage is pretty good hard. They played Bolt on my things and they didn't have a solution for Meddling Mage. And it decided the game. It was also mulligan on 4, so pretty decent hand with turn 3, turn 4 omelet into Meddling Mage. It's pretty decent for mulligan to 4. And that's it. Deck was pretty exciting to play. Just winning almost every game on combo if it lasts long enough, and some of these combo kills were pretty quick. As turn 3, as the quickest way is of course the Druid Vizier Ballista combo, but Bombardment thinks Vizier combo also kills turn 4, so it can also be pretty quick, as you saw. Yagmoth 2, it's possible on turn 4 with Neoform and Neoform Vizier and things. It's a turn 4 or maybe even turn 3 with one dork. It's a turn 3 infinite draw, infinite life. Okay, so pretty it can kill pretty fast, but unfortunately in these games. Okay, sorry, I didn't replay my loss against Amulet Titan. I completely forgot about that. I won one game against Titan. Yeah, but they had a pretty good start. I completely forgot. They played first with their Barrera Grazer start, and I had a slow hand. Definitely not the hand you want for Titan matchup. And they were already on 4 lands and Dryad on field, and I was just preparing to cast my Jami's Call. But yeah, unfortunately, game 1, this is too slow. This is definitely too slow. So I should have just maybe played things at this point and to try to combo next turn. But it's pretty unlikely that I survive this anyway. So they just find Amulet. They play Titan, of course. Give haste to Titan, find Valaket, kill me. Yeah, all pretty standard stuff. But they didn't. Why they didn't? What? What? I completely forgot about this. Okay, my opponent misclicked. Yeah. My opponent misclicked, which meant if I played the kitchen finks next turn, I would now kill my opponent. Oh my god. If I play the Finks next turn, I would kill my opponent with Vizier and new form, find the Yagmoth, kill all their creatures. Oh my god, I just completely... the Winota wasn't good enough. I did find Yagmoth. I did find Yagmoth, but it wasn't good enough. I could have had the infinite Yagmoth combo this turn if I just played the things. My opponent. Okay, so they don't have any more time, so that's it for today. We'll finish this. I don't have time to finish this video. And hope you enjoyed the deck. And that's it for until the other time. Goodbye.